Questions of Life by John Greenleaf. Whittier. A bending staff I would not break, a feeble faith I would not shake, nor even rashly pluck away the error which some truth may stay, whose loss might leave the soul without a shield against the shafts of doubt. And yet, at times, when over all a darker mystery seems to fall, may God forgive the child of dust, who seeks to know where faith should trust. I raise the questions, old and dark, of Uzdom's tempted patriarch, and, speech-confounded, build again the baffled tower of Shinar's plain. I am. How little more I know. Whence came I? Whither do I go? A centered self, which feels and is, a cry between the silences, a shadow birth of clouds at strife with sunshine on the hills of life, a shaft from nature's quiver cast into the future from the past, between the cradle and the shroud, a meteor's flight from cloud to cloud. Thorough the vastness, arching all, I see the great stars rise and fall, the rounding seasons come and go, the tided oceans ebb and flow, the tokens of a central force, whose circles, in their widening course, overlap and move the universe, the workings of the law whence springs the rhythmic harmony of things, which shapes in earth the darkling spar, and orbs in heaven the morning star. Of all I see, in earth and sky, star, flower, beast, bird, what part have I? This conscious life, is it the same which thrills the universal frame, whereby the cavern crystal shoots, and mounts the sap from forest roots, whereby the exiled wood bird tells when spring makes green her native dells? How feels the stone the pang of birth, which brings its sparkling prism forth? The forest tree the throb which gives the lifeblood to its newborn leaves? Do bird and blossom feel, like me, life's many-folded mystery, the wonder which it is to be? Or stand I severed and distinct, from nature's chain of life, unlinked? Allied to all, yet not the less prisoned in separate consciousness, alone overburdened with a sense of life, and cause, and consequence? In vain to me the Sphinx propounds the riddle of her sights and sounds, back still the vaulted mystery gives the echoed question it receives. What sings the brook? What oracle is in the pine tree's organ swell? What may the wind's low burden be? The meaning of the moaning sea? The hieroglyphics of the stars? Are clouded sunsets crimson bars? I vainly ask, for mocks my skill the trick of nature's cipher still. I turn from nature unto men, I ask the stylus and the pen. What sang the bards of old? What meant the prophets of the Orient? The rolls of buried Egypt, hid in painted tomb and pyramid? What mean Idumea's arrowy lines, or dusk Alora's monstrous signs? How speaks the primal thought of man from the grim carvings of Copan? Where rests the secret? Where the keys of the old death-bolted mysteries? Alas! The dead retain their trust, dust hath no answer from the dust. The great enigma still unguessed, unanswered the eternal quest. I gather up the scattered rays of wisdom in the early days, faint gleams and broken, like the light of meteors in a northern night, betraying to the darkling earth the unseen sun which gave them birth. I listen to the Sibyl's chant, the voice of priest and hierophant. I know what Indian Krishna saith, and what of life and what of death the demon taught to Socrates, and what, beneath his garden tree's slow pacing, with a dream-like tread, the solemn-thoughted Plato said, nor lack I tokens, great or small, of God's clear light in each and all, while holding with more dear regard the scroll of Hebrew seer and bard, the starry pages promise lit with Christ's evangel overwrit, thy miracle of life and death, O Holy One of Nazareth. On Aztec ruins, gray and lone, the circling serpent coils in stone, type of the endless and unknown, whereof we seek the clue to find, with groping fingers of the blind. Forever sought, and never found, we trace that serpent symbol round our resting place, our starting bound. Oh, thriftlessness of dream and guess! Oh, wisdom which is foolishness! Why idly seek, from outward things the answer inward silence brings? Why stretch beyond our proper sphere and age, for that which lies so near? Why climb the far-off hills with pain, a nearer view of heaven to gain? In lowliest depths of bosky dells the hermit contemplation dwells. A fountain's pine-hung slope his seat, and lotus-twined his silent feet, whence, piercing heaven, with screened sight, he sees at noon the stars, whose light shall glorify the coining night. Here let me pause, my quest forego. Enough for me to feel and know that he in whom the cause and end, the past and future, meet and blend, who, girt with his immensities, our vast and star-hung system sees, small as the clustered Pleiades, moves not alone the heavenly choirs, but waves the springtime's grassy spires, guards not archangel feet alone, but deigns to guide and keep my own, speaks not alone the words of fate which worlds destroy, and worlds create, but whispers in my spirit's ear, in tones of love, or warning fear, a language none beside may hear. To him, from wanderings long and wild, I come, an over-wearied child, in cool and shade his peace to find, life's dew fall settling on my mind. Assured that all I know is best, and humbly trusting for the rest, I turn from fancy's cloud-built scheme, dark creed, and mournful eastern dream of power, impersonal and cold, controlling all, itself controlled, maker and slave of iron laws, alike the subject and the cause, from vain philosophies, that try the sevenfold gates of mystery, and, baffled ever, babble still, word prodigal of fate and will, from nature, and her mockery, art, and book and speech of men apart, to the still witness in my heart, with reverence waiting to behold his avatar of love untold, the eternal beauty new and old,